So now let's talk briefly about test-driven development, known as TDD. It is a methodology that was rediscovered by Ken Beck, who wrote test-driven development by example, Addison Wesley in 2002. We should encourage you to check it out if you want to learn about the fundamentals of this subject. TDD is a software development methodology that is based on the continuous repetition of a very short development cycle. First, the developer writes a test and makes it run. The test is supposed to check a feature that is not yet part of the code. Maybe it is a new feature to be added, or something to be removed or amended. Running the test will make it fail, and because of this phrase is called thread. When the test has failed, the developer writes a minimal amount of code to make it pass. When running the test succeeds, we have the so-called green phase. In this phase, it is okay to write code that cheats just to make the test pass. This technique is based fake until you make it. In a second moment, tests are enriched with different edge cases, and the cheating code then have to be rewritten with proper logic. Adding other test cases is called triangulation. The last piece of this cycle is where the developer takes care of both the code and the test in separate times and factors then until they are in the desired state. The last phase is called refactor. The TDD mantra therefore is red, green, refactor. There are several other benefits that comes from the adoption of this technique. First, you will refactor with much more confidence. Tests will break if you introduce bugs. Moreover, the architectural refactor will also benefit from having tests that act as guardians. Second, the code will be more readable. This is crucial in your time. When coding is a social activity, and every professional developer spends much more time reading code than reading it. Third, the code will be more loosely coupled and easier to test and maintain. Writing the test first forces you to think more deeply about code structure. Fourth, written tests first require you have to have a better understanding of the business requirements. If your understanding of the requirements is lacking information, you'll find writing a test extremely challenging, and this situation acts as a sentinel for you. Fifth, having everything unit tested means the code will be easier to debug. Moreover, small tests are perfect for providing alternative documentation. English can be misleading, but 5 lines of Python in a simple test are very hard to misunderstand. Sixth, higher speed. It's faster to write tests and code than it's to write the code first and then lose time in debugging. If you don't write tests, you will probably deliver the code sooner, but then you will have to track the bugs down and solve them, and rest assured there will be bugs. The combined time taken to write the code and then debug is usually longer than the time taken to develop the code with TDD. We're having tests running before the code is written, ensuring that the amount of bugs until It will be more lower than in the code in other cases. On the other hand, the main shortcomings of this technique are the following ones. First, the whole company needs to believe in it. Otherwise, you will have to constantly argue with your boss, who will not understand why it takes you so long to deliver. The truth is, it may take you a bit longer to deliver in the short term, but in the long term you gain a lot of with TDD. However, it's quite hard to see the long term because it's not under our noses like the short term is. I have fought battles with stubborn bosses in my career to be able to code using TDD. Sometimes it has been painful, but always well worth it. And I have never regretted it because, in the end, the quality of the result has always been appreciated. Second, if you fail to understand the business requirement, this will reflect in the test you write, and therefore it will reflect in the code too. This kind of problem is quite hard to spot until you do UAT. But one thing that you can do to reduce the likelihood of it happening is to pair with another developer. Pairing will inevitably require discussion about the business requirement, and discussion will bring qualification, which will help in writing correct tests. Third, badly written tests are hard to maintain. This is a fact. Tests with too many marks or with extra assumption or badly extracted data will soon become a burden. Don't let this discourage you. You keep experimenting and change the way you write them until you find a way that doesn't require you a huge amount of work every time you touch your code.